Hey, here I am on the Kona's Earthly Delights farm. I have been meaning to cut down some coconuts for a long time, and up there, that's where they are, and I'm gonna cut a couple of them down today. Let's see how it goes. So the weapon of choice for today is the big bamboo banana cutter. You can see it's just a big long bamboo pole with a great big blade here on the end. We'll just stick that up there, and today we'll probably just cut down a couple of coconuts instead of trying to cut down like a whole bunch all at once. Just because it's a little bit easier to get to, and I don't need 12 coconuts. So let's see what we can get. This is a workout. Whew, holy cow. That was hard. Earlier I had something to stand on so I could get up there and not have to reach so high. But I got a couple down, so I've got 4 total, a couple of little ones, a decent sized one. I think I have one that's kind of in the middle. And so let's go cut them open, see what we can find. All right, so since I don't have a really good sturdy table, a really hard surface, and I'm not brave enough to hold this in my hand and chop at it like some people, I've got this spot here, some old concrete or rock that I can use to brace the coconut while I cut it with the new weapon of choice, the rusty old machete, which unfortunately did not make it into the new version of Clue. Maybe next time though, I certainly hope so. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of chop away at the top. You don't have to cut away everything. So we're just gonna cut away at the top, and then it kind of expose the inner shell, and then we'll be able to crack that away. And if there's liquid in here, we'll be able to poke through it and drink it. Let's give it a shot. Kids, don't try this at home without the supervision of a qualified machete-trained adult. I tell you, cutting on camera is a little nerve-wracking, but I really don't want to cut my fingers because now I feel really stupid. Oh yeah, all right. So, I'm gonna come over here. You can see it's, okay, so I went in, I actually cut in a little too far, but I managed not to break it so much that it didn't explode all over the place. So I'm just gonna get behind the camera so I can hold this here and make sure you don't miss anything. So you can see right there, where it's really white right there, it's soft. That's the meat. That's the actual, what we call spoon meat. And so I'm gonna break this away, and it's all wet. It's actually getting my hands wet right now. So you can see that right there, that's the spoon meat. You just spoon that out, and then if you kind of lift this up and look inside, you can see it's kind of glistening. That's the coconut water. That's the good stuff. That's what it's all about. Oh yeah, so excited. Bon appetit. Good stuff. Hey, you're still here. You must really love coconuts. Well, you're in luck. So, you remember this guy here that I showed you, right? And I already drank out all the water. I'm sure your soup's jelly about that. Coconuts have 3 parts, and I didn't really look too much into it until, remember earlier I mentioned that I found one that was a little older, but I could shake it and I could hear something inside it. I decided to cut it open, and when I did, it looked like the kind of coconut that you find at the store, right? It doesn't have any of the outer stuff on it, and it's just this hard thing, but I could still shake it. But now you can hear it's hollow, right? So I decided to do a little bit of research because I opened it up, and when I did, you see it has a nice thick layer of the meat there, and then it has this little seed inside of it, just this little nut. And it was super interesting, and I wanted to understand where that was because it's not in this coconut here. Turns out this is the mature seed of the coconut tree. So the coconut tree is not actually a nut, but some people can say that it is a nut because it has a single seed. This is kind of like a big peach pit where it has a really hard, what's called endocarp, surrounding the seed inside of it. So the other layers of this that you don't have to deal with when you buy it at the store are here. It's this hard outer, what turns green and then eventually turns brown layer. It's called the exocarp. This husk here is the mesocarp or mesocarp, depending on how you want to pronounce it, right? And then the inner shell here that on this one isn't really hard yet, somewhat hard, is called the endocarp. And then inside that you have the meat and where the seed grows. Pretty cool. I thought it was really interesting. This did still have some liquid left in it, although not a whole lot. You can see that the skin here is, or not the skin, the actual coconut flesh is actually pretty thick on this, so I'm excited to kind of try and dig it out. You can grate it up, and if you grate it and then run hot water through it or whatever, you can get the coconut milk. But coconut water does not ever just become coconut milk magically. And then I think maybe the coconut oil comes out of that too, but I actually haven't done much research on coconut oil specifically. So there you go. You got to see where coconuts come from, get your nerd fix and about exo, endo, and mesocarps, and that's it for me. Take care. We'll see you later.